Hi there, my name is Andrea Lopez, and today I will be talking about how David Alfaro Siqueiros impacted the Mexican Revolution, not with a weapon, but with a paintbrush. Before talking about what he did during his lifetime, let's talk about him as a person. He was born December 29th of 1896 in the city of Chihuahua, Mexico. At a very young age, he was a prospect in art. He was very talented, and by the age of 18, he left his hometown to Mexico City, where he pursued his passion not only for art, but for his passion of politics. He was infamous for his murals while also creating controversy as well as creating discussions about the Mexican Revolution. In his pieces of art, his work uses dramatic uses of shadows as well as limited color palettes. During his first year of college, he participated in his first student strike. During this strike, he soon found himself being the leader. Later on, he led a protest against the San Carlos Academy, which had an impact on the school that was forced into changing its teaching styles in favor of the students. Later on, Siqueiros took a major test of courage and enlisted in the Mexican Revolutionary Army. He then advanced through the ranks and found himself as captain. He didn't swear himself only to one allegiance, but to the Mexican Communist as well. He fought for both the revolution of his people and his fight for political justice. He did not stop and was relentless to accomplish both goals. His mission was to stop and undermine Porfirio Díaz's dictatorship, even if it meant leading more violent activities that led him into jail and exile. Siqueiros had a special and unique talent for depicting his feelings and emotions in murals. This first mural is called The Revolution by David Alfaro Siqueiros, which was made in 1964. This mural is a representation of an epical fight between capitalism and revolutionary socialism. Siqueiros was incarcerated for this piece due to the expression of political dissent. During the time David created this mural, it was while Porfirio Díaz was under presidential rule. Throughout Díaz's time in office, he stayed in power due to the corruption and violence against the poor. In the mural, Siqueiros highlights how the working class gathers together, as well as standing together against the tyranny that has affected their society. With the sharp edges of their guns that are flexed in the mural, it represents the muscle that they have against the system, demonstrating as one person can't go up against the corrupt system, but together they are a stronger unit. In the second mural, it's called The Portrait of Mexico Today, also by David Alfaro, and it was made in 1932, and it's via Santa Barbara Museum of Art. While illustrating this mural, he was exiled for his passionate views on the Mexican government. This mural exposes that the Mexican army were more mercenaries than defenders of the nation. It portrays an indigenous woman and child hiding helplessly from a group of Mexican soldiers with bags of money, demonstrating how their allegiance is not with the people, but to the government who pays them. The mural was created on the walls of a covered garden of the famous filmmaker, Dudley Murphy. Siqueiros wanted to demonstrate his skills and show his appreciation to the filmmaker by creating a work of art he knew would impress him. Today, the portrait is now located in the front terrace of the Santa Barbara Museum and has become a standpoint for Mexico. In this next mural, it's called The New Democracy by David Alfaro Siqueiros, and it was made in 1945. David Siqueiros had a special ability to blend his political passion with his murals of truth. His murals were strong and confident that left a message in everyone's soul. This luminous mural brings peace and prosperity during a time of darkness to give its people hope. As you can see, the arms being held up is a symbol of freedom and revolution, while the third arm is the undying strength the people have. The shape of the woman demonstrates the fragility as well as her being exposed. It shows the vulnerability of the people. It reveals the passion and their willingness to finally break out of their own chains and free themselves from tyranny and dictatorship. He wasn't the only one in the Mexican Revolution to share his passion of liberation. He had help from other inspired artists. The names of these inspired artists were Diego Rivera and Jose Clemente Orozco. All three artists had very similar art styles that gave them the name Los Tres Grandes, or also known as the Three Greats, of Mexican muralism. As you can tell, all three murals on the slide, they all have very similar art styles with limited colors of the palette, as well as different types of shadows portraying times of war. They created an art movement in Mexico in the 1920s. They were artists who were commissioned or paid to make murals in Mexico's public spaces after the Mexican Revolution to educate everyone about the revolution and Mexico's history, even those who couldn't read or write. David was the youngest out of the three, as well as the most radical with his vision, and often refused commission that conflicted with his Marxist ideology. Later on, they featured Mesoamerican indigenous people who helped build the foundations of modern-day Mexico. Los Tres Grandes illuminated Mexico's pre-colonial history and commemorated them for the first time publicly. As you can tell in David Alfaro's mural. In the images of Los Tres Grandes, European figures were portrayed as heroes as well as the working men and farmers. All three muralists have similar painting styles, but David Siqueiros started working with more modern technology. During his war experience in the Revolution, it convinced him to create political art. Diego Rivera glorified Mexico's heritage, while Orozco saw the revolution with the eye of an artist rather than that of a pure artist, per se. These murals then began to be socialist ideals and modernist forms. Siqueiros began to change his art style as he still conveyed messages of the social issues going around to the common people, while the other muralists continued to have the same styles. Los Tres Grandes still have a strong influence in today's age due to the fact that they influence different styles and certain techniques for other artists. And how does your topic add to and continue to enhance your understanding of Mexican history? Learning about David Alfaro Siqueiros enhanced my knowledge for the rights of Mexican workers and the poor. He served as a model activism for the other artists with political views, as well as exposing the dictatorship, unequal distributions of land, and equality within the people. His murals were strong and confident, and they carried much weight and had a heavy impact on the Mexican Revolution. While in his fight to make Mexico a utopia, he found himself with fellow inspired artists who shared his passion for liberation. He took his passion for liberation not as a job, but more of a mission. As the years went on, Siqueiros was relentless in uprooting the dictatorship that plagued the Mexican people. Siqueiros was strong but not invincible and found himself caught by the Mexican government multiple times. He was sentenced to 5 years in jail for supporting the railroad union. After his release in 1964, his momentum to stop all injustice was unbreakable. His masterpieces are still present today that can still be seen, proving that they are still relevant and popular while their powerful message is going through. Thank you.